Hi, everyone. My name is Nicole, and welcome to the podcast. We'll be sharing wisdom and encouragement from my mom, a woman who has created a 36-year marriage full of joy and love, and raised 3 children to adulthood that love her and love each other. We'll be talking about how to be a great mom, how to be a great wife, and how to love your life in the process. One of the things I'm really grateful to you for is creating such a good relationship between the 3 of us. So I think to this day, the boys and I are still very close. I love them so very much. And now I get to be blessed with having 2 fantastic sisters that I love very much as well. They are the cutest. I have the best little sisters and the best little brothers in the whole wide world. But what did you do when we were really little to create a good relationship between the 3 of us?
Because I had argued a lot with my brother, I wanted to find a way that didn't have to happen. I wanted to not have you grow up and you have a relationship that you're sad about. So I remember my sister saying to me one time, when they walk in the room, just tell them how lucky that they are that that this child is like your brother. When your brothers walked in the room, I just say, wow, Max, you're so lucky to have Nicole as a big sister. She's going to protect you and take care of you. I would elevate you that you were going to take care of them, watch over them, have a good relationship with them, that you were going to be a good big sister to them. I just took time getting toys that would make you work together and not against each other. I never pitted you guys against each other like, look what your sister did, look what your brother did. I never made that reference to them. It was always like, wow, I always complimented the good behavior. Wow, you were really kind to your sister. That's amazing. Why did you do that? What made you want to be kind to her at that moment? And just, reinforcing that the goodness that comes out of being kind to somebody is important, and it has great longevity for your life. And anytime you guys started arguing, we let you talk, but we never let it elevate to anything personal, physical. And we would just sit you down and say, look, why are you so upset with your sister? Why are you so upset with your brother? And a lot of times you just needed more attention or a different kind of attention, or you needed some time alone, because they would definitely be in your face all the time when they're 2 and 3. Yeah. And you wanted to go read or play with your friends alone. And I made sure you had that time where you needed to be with your friends alone and you needed to read a book alone and not be bothered. I would take them off and do something else in another room. So there wasn't the animosity and, anger with them. I never let it get to that point. I intervened and taught and gave you the skills so you could tell them, look, I can't play with you right now, but I will in an hour set your timer. And we'd set the timer. In an hour, you'd come out and play with them. But you had that time to yourself. You remember that?
I do. Well, I just remember it still to this day. It's so cute. I love these little ones so much. And we used to play all the time. I remember we'd get like all the different Power Rangers toys or whatever, and we'd create these worlds together. And just, I'm so glad that I spent so much time playing with them, because we did have just this wonderful relationship that now that we're older, we still have this closeness. I think you did such a good job. You've mentioned to me before, when you did see us start to fight, you'd step in so that it would never become a true, because kids squabble. It's reality. Definitely. But the problem is when it escalates to bullying or hitting or, some of these really negative memories, but it never got there. And so, we'd squabble, but we just loved being together and playing together and going on adventures together and building, creating worlds together. And still to this day, I now work with one of them and have worked with the other and loved every minute of it, because I love being with them. I think there's some other things that you and Dad did about us protecting each other and the importance of our family taking care of each other. And so it was taught to us from a very young age that we were each other's team.
Yes.
And I think that stuck with us. And over the years, I've needed things, they've needed things, and we step in to be that for each other, because that's what we are. We're a family, we're a unit, and that's what family does. But I think you also balanced that with not putting too much responsibility on us, because I never, I think some people have a tendency to have their older children take care of their younger ones, and I can, there were very few times where it was my job to do something for them. Like I didn't change diapers, didn't do, all these other things, even though I was a little older. I mean, sometimes I'd drive them to school or something, but it was very minimal. So how did you balance between us taking care of each other, but also not putting so much burden on us that it became, they were a burden to me instead of just these little joys that I got to be with?
Right. And that has to do with me being unselfish. I could have asked you to do more, but I chose not to because I wanted your relationship to be fun and joyful.
It is. I love those little ones.
You did the chores. You all had chores, but you had fun together. And anything I asked you to do was not because they didn't have to do it. And I just made sure, or did my best to make sure, that you felt like you were part of the family, but it wasn't a job for you. And I think sometimes it's very easy when you have an older child to have them babysit or have them take care of somebody, and it can become a burden. And I tried my best not to have you do that, so you would just look at it as a great relationship and fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was the mom, not you. And I made sure that I stayed the mom.
Yeah. And I'm really glad you did, because I love those little ones so much. And I think I'm so grateful for my relationship with them. And then now my relationship with my new sisters as well. It's just, I get to just love them. And it's beautiful. Okay. Awesome.